And guys have done a great job of just plugging along, figuring out a way to get better, found a way to win last week, found a way to win this week. It's a tough team to play, and they're a well-coached team, and they know that they have to execute and protect the football and get turnovers. They know the formula to have a chance to win in the fourth quarter, and I felt like players did a great job. The coaching staff did a great job getting these guys ready. It's a good one for us because that was the most important game of that week. And I know you want more than that, but really, you lose next week, nobody really is going to give a shit.
How kind of uneasy is confidence at times? Because you guys lost 5 straight, and it seemed like maybe some of these guys are hanging their head a little, and then you do what you did the last 2 weeks, and that locker room was completely transformed last season.
I mean, that's the NFL. Like, they'll hang their head for a day, and then we'll move on. Once we hit Wednesday, we're on to the next one.
Adam, it seemed like there were a lot of plays where Jay had significant time. Offensive line play as well as they have all season yesterday?
I'm not sure if I could say that's all season. If you go game by game, I think they did a good job with the fronts they were getting. The New England makes it very difficult. You're not really sure sometimes how they're going to rush. You have an idea who may be coming, but the way that they enter the line of scrimmage is very difficult because they do a lot of things where you have to pass, the defensive lineman off, and it can get tough. They do a really good job of making sure if you're not on the same page, you're in trouble.
Speaking of offensive line, Mike Pouncey's played every game this year. He hasn't played all 16 games since 2012.
I'm glad you're bringing it up.
What had the team done? What has he done to not have any durability issues this season?
He's just worked extremely hard every day. I mean, I don't remember the last time I haven't seen him here trying to do something. He doesn't need anybody to tell him what to do. He's going to be in here on his own. This means a lot to him. He wants to be out there for his teammates every snap. And he's had the right mindset this year. Not that he hasn't in the past, but I know he's really locked in of focusing on one game at a time, one play at a time, and just trying to be a guy that we can count on every week. And I'm sure he hasn't felt 100% or great all the time, and he just keeps plugging along and trying to do everything he can to help us win.
Adam, I know you always like Drake's potential, but have you been surprised at all the last 2 games' ability to handle a full workload as well as he has?
Not really. That's why we drafted him. We'd rather be able to, like that combination of him and Damian, it really caused a lot of problems because both those guys have, can do everything you want them to do. We just got to keep working on cleaning up the ball security, making sure he hangs on to that thing and keeps putting 2 hands on it in traffic.
The thing of getting Jakeem involved on the outside, you've been talking about it for a while. Last night we saw it.
It was, Barry kept bringing it up, so I had to keep putting it on the back shelf. But, we kept working on these packages with him, and it just never flowed right in the game. And a lot of the, previous games where we weren't getting the matchups we wanted. We were seeing coverages were different than what we thought. And, this game, I think it was more, we're going to put it out there. And we accidentally kind of fell into a couple of them the last time we played them because we lost all the running backs. So we started putting them out there more, and it just kind of got us thinking a little bit of, okay, maybe we just should put him out there and let's just see what happens. And he can do so much, and it kind of lets us play around with some things with him and Jarvis. And when you start doing the things where they're in the backfield and then they're all playing different positions in different spots, guys have fun with that, and they like being able to do something a little creative. So we kind of started doing that stuff.
You've come a long way, obviously. We talked a lot before about the offense being minimalist when you guys couldn't do a lot right. Now you're doing a lot, lined up guys in the backfield that never played running back. Is it a matter of teams just figuring it out and you feel more comfortable opening it up?
No, I think it's just less angry when they make a mistake. Just let them figure it out, and they've done a good job. You'll see every once in a while we'll have a little confusion, but they figure it out by the time the clock hits 0 on the shot clock. It's sometimes it kind of messes with it because guys have to kind of change what position they are. We try to keep everything as consistent as possible. When now all of a sudden you got 5 wideouts in there, 4 wideouts. Somebody's got to change. So it gets tough sometimes, but guys have done a good job being right for the most part.
Now, when you guys jumped out to a lead, how did that influence the game? How did it change it for both teams?
I'm sure our defense was happy. That was a first. So, we'll just keep. We wanted to just keep trying to push the ball, whether it be in the run game, pass game, however we were doing it, just to put pressure on them and see if we could score some points to where if we could get up by 6, 7, 13, whatever it was, to just give our guys a chance to really put pressure on the quarterback. And that's what we wanted to do. We've been talking about it for a long time. It was, it's just those guys have done a great job of hanging in there with us. And, yesterday we finally got a little bit of a lead, and they were able to go do what we want them to do. And they put a lot of pressure on them.
Do you think the Denver game gave you guys something? I know Denver hasn't been playing well, but just the confidence of seeing the plan actually materialize on the field?
I think any time that you get in a situation where you've lost 5 games in a row, and no matter how you win that game, it's nice to win a game, and then confidence can really build throughout a week, the next week. And I think that's really what happened to us. Guys came in with a purpose in the Denver game, did a good job. And then when we went through practice last week, there was a different way about how we even at practice we were. There was no change in effort or execute, anything like that. But it was just, I don't know, it seemed like guys were walking around different. Like they felt good about, what we had going on and how they were going to perform.
What's gone into Landry's ability to find the end zone in the season?
It just happens. We call certain plays, and there's options, and sometimes it's dictated by coverage. So, we just kind of caught some teams in the right coverage.
With Kenyon and Xavier, you see these guys, you know what kind of talent is there. You're trying to tap it. You work with them for a year and a half, and now all of a sudden it's kind of blossoming before our eyes anyway. What level of satisfaction is there for you in seeing that happen?
It's really been, I guess for both guys, I've enjoyed it just because especially Drake, I give him a really hard time. But just to see him stick with it. And, when we traded Jay, kind of putting those two guys in a room and being like, all right, both of you guys are going to get touches. And, they knew how I wanted to use them. And just to see his engagement at meetings and practice and how much you can see the effort he's putting forth to try to make sure he does everything right. And he wants to be a reliable guy. Just seeing kind of that growth really fast, it's been fun to experience. And then X just, he's been confident since the spring. And then just getting some success, things happen like that. For a DB, it just snowballs for you. You get one, you get your hand on the ball, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 or 4.
Adam, speaking of snowballs, how do you prepare a team from South Florida to play in the snow?
Just mindset. Doesn't matter. It's 3.5 hours. You get a 12-minute break in the snow.
There's
warm
no
up.
way to simulate anything.
We can cool that down if you want to, but no point. It's not going to do anything.
It is winter, I mean.
No, it was cold yesterday.
I was curious for your thoughts on numbers aside, what you saw from Devontae Parker yesterday.
There was some good stuff. There was a couple of them I wish we could have back that I thought were going to be some big plays. I think he's kind of knowing. I can see him understanding the concept so well to where he knows he has a lot of green grass and he wants to go, but he's got to catch the ball first. And that's really what happened on that first play. He knew he had a chance for a big one. And we just need him to focus on catching the ball first and then run after that. He's just got to trust the speed. There was some good technique things he did, on his routes, and we just need the consistency. We have to just keep trying to get him going. He can be such a huge piece of the puzzle for us.
I was wondering about Tunsil, too, in terms of the quality of the play last night and just the disposition he gave.
It's always about consistency at this level. You can't have 4 good, 1 bad, and that's what you're doing all the time. You got to keep playing well for 60 minutes, and when you play that spot, it's the toughest spot because you're usually going against the best pass rusher. And a lot of times, I know myself, in my head, I'm always thinking, we're good on the left. And I know Jay thinks the same way. So it's a lot of pressure to make sure that your guy's blocked every time because you get less help. And a lot of the formations seem to be right-handed a lot of times. And, that's a lot on, first-year left tackle, that's a lot on his plate.
How was it last night, though?
It was pretty good. He did a pretty good job. There were some few things that I want to get cleaned up, which are easily correctable things.
Adam, Jordan Phillips, another player who's playing really well lately. What have you seen in him that made the difference?
I think it just starts with the way that he's been preparing. You notice him in practice. And his energy level, his attitude, the way that his just really his whole demeanor's been for a long time now. You can see that's why he's having success. I don't think any of us ever questioned his athletic ability or his ability to rush the passer. But just seeing him consistently do the same things over and over again, it's been great to see. He's been, a huge part of that defensive line.
How did he get tonight physically, and did you have any issue with how he got dinged up? Because that did seem to be a play that wasn't really a football play.
Yeah, it's hard to comment on anything like that, but we'll see how he is. When I get with those guys today, it's always one of those ones you get a little nervous about, like, how's it going to be the next day? He seemed all right last night, but we'll kind of see as we go through the week.
Quick league-wide question, because the concussion protocol is back in the news with what happened to Tom Savage. Your team's been through it a few times in the last couple of years. Just what's your overall thoughts on the way the league has handled the new concussion protocol?
It's hard for me to comment on it because we just follow the rules that they have in place. When a guy's down, we give him to the trainers, doctors, and NFL specialists. That's it. I'm removed from it when that happens.
What's the plan for Damian this week? Are you going to test him out?
Yeah, we're going to keep trying to get him ready to go, strengthen him up as much as we can. I know this has been frustrating for him. He wants to get out there. He wants to help us. We need him. He's a valuable piece of this team, not only on the field but his attitude. We just got to keep getting him stronger, and then when trainers say he's ready to go on the field, we'll take him and put him on the field.
Do you have plans to do anything, though?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll meet with the trainers later today and figure out what our plan is this week.
All right, thanks.